not realistic to decide to never complain again, but try challenging yourself this year, 2022, to stop for a day, then several weeks, and then maintaining a much less complaint-ridden existence thereafter. Today, on how and why you should stop complaining this year, 2022. Wherever you are watching us from, welcome to LTS episode number 18. And we invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can like our videos, comment, and share your feedback. Just right at the bottom of our screen, click that subscription button and be part of the LTS family. Do you complain too much? Could that be the reason why you are still where you are? Now, it's not that most people sit around all day pointing out negatives in life. Far from it. Most of us may even actively seek to notice and talk about everything we have to be thankful for in life. We may even frequently share special moments with loved ones, follow our passions in life, write about gratitudes in our journal, or even engage in positive activities. But we still find ourselves complaining more than we need to. In fact, more than is healthy. Sometimes that slips into excessive complaining or even gossip, and that can be a very slippery slope. The urge to complain comes from dissatisfaction with something that's going on in one's life, often coupled with a feeling of inability to change it. Now, complaints can be a signal that action is needed. So, the next time you feel like complaining, instead, focus on what you can do to change your circumstances, and then, if possible, go ahead and do it. Ask yourself this simple question: what am I complaining about? And why am I complaining about it? Do you have a reason to be grateful, or are you too blind to see who you are, what you have, and the people who are around you? What kind of people have you surrounded yourself with? What kind of energy do you give or draw from others? Now, Joe, not his real name, joined ABC company and was full of optimism from first day he joined the company. Now, having been hired in an influential position in the company, Joe started gathering intel about everything and anything about the new company. Now, his interest was not limited to human capital alone, but he sought to know about all departments and personnel's file. After a couple of months, Joe's character started changing towards increased demands on what he needs to have and what are his entitlements. In fact, Joe was always comparing himself with other associates or workers at the same or similar job group. His nose for news or for stories that were happening around the company, his curiosity on what was happening in other people's life made it so endeared to him that he became a habitual complainer. Anytime there was a promotion of any member of staff, even entry level, Joe would always have something to say and something to complain about. In fact, to make sure that he was not alone, Joe always surrounded himself with a few other disgruntled associates, a group of complainants who were always just like him. They never saw anything good. In fact, they moved together like a pack of wolves. I do agree strongly, that great minds will discuss ideas, average minds will discuss events, but small minds will always discuss people. And that was what Job was known for. A complainant who was always discussing people and things that were not necessary, that did not affect him. And for that reason, Job always ended up being frustrated of every effort that would be put in the interest of others, especially if it was towards the greater good of other employees. Fact, Job will end up using very unorthodox means to address any concerns that affected him as an individual, and his habitual character of complaints did not advance him in any part of his career development for years. Now, this year, 2022, as you focus more on minimizing your complaining and maximizing your gratitude and excitement about life, you will likely feel a difference in your stress level and your level of overall life satisfaction. If this rings true to you and you would like to renew your commitment to keeping things as positive as they can be, then try the following actions to minimize complaining and maximize optimism, and this can work very well for you this year, 2022. The first step is to become aware when you are complaining too much or slipping into rumination. When this happens, then use this fast technique, and that is thought stopping. Now, this is a technique that even therapists recommend for a variety of issues because it works very well. When an undesirable thought enters your head, you literally interrupt it with the mental image of a stop sign or the word stop and move on to a different thought. Second technique is journaling. Here, it's writing in a journal that brings many health, wellness related benefits. The trick to effective journaling is to write about the problem and your feelings about it. And then you need to brainstorm and see what are the positive and possible solutions to your situation. Then, technique number 3 is seeking support. Now, social support is a great stress reliever. And if you're lucky, you have some of the very supportive and wise people around your life, then it is a high time you talk to them. In fact, you can laugh with them. And if you face a bigger challenge and you have someone you can be able to trust, then go ahead and share with them your feelings and your thoughts. And then move on to happier topics, happier thoughts, and probably you will find no reason to complain. Ever remain grateful. Count your blessings. In fact, counting your blessing is one of my favorite ways of getting out of a bad mood or even switching my focus away from annoying things in life. And it's hard to complain when you're thinking about how lucky you are. Take actions. Take actions. Now, the urge to complain comes from a dissatisfaction with something that is going on in someone's life. It's often coupled with a feeling of inability to change it. Now, complaints can be signals that action is needed. When that happens, it is time for you to make sure that that feeling of complaining is substituted with a focus of what you can be able to do to change your circumstances. And then, if possible, go ahead and do it. Cultivate optimism. It's much easier to drop negative habits by replacing them with positive ones. In fact, many experts say that this is one effective way to do it. Replace your negative thoughts and words with optimistic ones, and this will bring many benefits on your day-to-day living, and it's worth trying. In fact, even if you're not planning to giving up complaining anytime soon, just try optimism. Question: are you complaining about your low salary? There is someone out there with no job. He's just looking for something to start. Are you complaining about working hours? There's someone out there spending hours, in fact, looking for a job. Are you complaining about the food in your workplace or at home? Remember of the millions that are hungry, and in fact, some are even dying of hunger. Are you complaining about your car, that it is unfit? There is someone walking daily to work with no means of transport or travel at all, and yet they get to work on time and they leave on time, but they still walk. Yet you complain about your unfit car. Are you complaining about the size of the space you're living in? Remember, there's someone spending their nights in the cold. And this list can go on and on and on. Are you habitually complaining about your spouse or comparing him or her with others? My friend, there are millions who will be grateful to have what you have right now. What about your children? Are you complaining about them? There are barren women praying day and night for a miracle just to have one child. And yet you're there complaining about the children you have. This list could go on and on and on. But the end result of a complaining individual is a discontent and an unhappy person who always carries with him negative vibes. This year, 2022, as you started as a friend of LTS, remember, our great mission and our great challenge for this year is never to complain. And this is the simple truth of the week. Complaints are like the clouds that produce no rains, no matter how thick they gather. Never depend on your complaint thinking they are staircases. Drop that thought. Drop it. Someone may have all the technical knowledge in the world. Someone may have the scientific intellect and the business know-how. But when he or she decides to choose laziness over hard work, to choose excuses over accountability, to choose procrastination over action, to choose complaining over gratitude and other attitudes, then him or her, his or her relevance is futile, null and void, and is meaningless. So friends of LTS, 2022 is right here with us. We thank you for watching this episode on Let's Talk Stuff. If you have any experience you want to share with us, kindly drop me a note on the handles that are running down on your screen. And we don't mind getting to hear of your experience. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and click on that notification bell so that you get weekly updates and alerts once we upload our videos. And as we always say it here in LTS, year 2022, remember, the most highly valued asset of any successful company is the staff. And so from us, as you start your new year, complain less. If possible, don't complain at all. And embrace the spirit of being grateful. And so from us, we wish you well and hope to see you next week on our next video of Let's Talk Staff. From us, don't forget to subscribe. And again, Happy New Year. And have a grateful, content, and blessed resolution.